Hello to everyone. So today I am here with the short standing sequence. The last video I put out, it was a sitting down. Now I want to just give you a short sequence you can use to check in, tap in, provide your some physical movement to your body, but in stillness as well. And really, if you're having a stressful day, maybe anxiety setting in about something, anything time you need to just stop, reground and check in and really honor your body in the peace that it's asking for. Stressful things like waiting in the grocery store line. I was walking the other day and I saw this long line wrapped around the block and everyone was on their phone, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be wonderful if instead of being on your phones in those times, and I'm guilty of it myself, that you stop and you just ground and move into a gentle sequence to nourish yourself instead of continuously keeping yourself going. We're not listening. If you're in that line that's telling you to slow down, but we don't listen. So maybe tapping into some mindfulness and listening that I'm in this line, so let me nourish myself and really be still and move slowly, because that's what's going to require for me to get up to the top of the line. So with that being said, let's move into this easy sequence. I have my shoes on intentionally today because you're more than likely going to have your shoes on in that line that you're standing in. And as always, anything that I'm showing you, you can do with light weights that I have, and I'll pick them up at some point, or you can do with no weights at all. And the most basic thing we can do to reconnect and reground in those moments where stress and anxiety or the feeling of being overwhelmed or impatience start to tap in, is tap in. So we'll start doing that, but just tap in, starting with where you're standing, grounding through the soles of your feet, right those feet through the soles of the shoes. Come in contact with the earth, and I mean that more than just knowing that the earth is beneath you, but feel your toes melt down through those soles into the earth, the arches and the base of the heels, the soles, the heels, the toes. And then you don't need to close your eyes down completely. You can just find one gaze in front of you, or you can let your eyelids become heavy so the light of the space that you're in is still there. Begin to move your belly button back towards your spine. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears, and your fingertips just hang freely as if they're going to graze your outer ankles. And from here, you breathe. Locate your breath. Begin to connect with the inhalation and the exhalation of the breath. Feeling it fill the body on the inhalations, and releasing and exhaling, letting go of the number of people ahead of you in that line. Letting go of, I gotta get moving, I'm running late, just slowing down. Letting go and just taking each breath and exhaling each breath. As the line moves forward, that you may be all set, right? You're good, and now before you know it, you come out of that standing little grounding meditation. It's your turn. But if not, we can move into, and I say these, don't worry about your surroundings and what people are doing. As long as there's space for you to move freely or gently without harming anyone else, who cares what it looks like? Do you? Honor you. That being said, you can take some shoulder shrugs, just moving your shoulders up, back and down, keeping your alignment, your core engaged, belly button towards the spine. These are things you're mindfully doing, and no one else, who cares? Again, who cares? And then back the other way. Some of the first places we begin to hold our stress in uncomfortable situations is right in our neck and shoulders, and shoulders will tend to go up and stay there, and here we are in that line, usually on a hip, arms folded. No. Drop those shoulders down, and instead you could begin to take some head rotations. This is one of my favorite things to do whenever stress starts to come up. Not only does it give me an opportunity just to take the head in a circular rotation, right here going to the opposite way, but it honestly allows me to just disconnect. And I honestly, each time, forgotten what had me so tensed in the first place. And if you're in that line, this may be something when you're done, you may notice it's your turn. Ways of letting go and being present right here and come back up to center. That alone is just a little feeling of reconnecting, like the city looks a little brighter to me now. And then there's always balance. I'm gonna give you a couple more here because I'd like to keep these short and sweet, but there's also balance. And when we balance, not only are we strengthening our sense of awareness, our whole body, but everything is included, right? Our core, our feet, our knees, our hips, the whole body. So you wanna drop those shoulders back and down. Bring your hands onto your hips if you can. And just move from side to side, just feeling the feels before you move into your balancing. And then we'll come back to stopping the movement. And then here you can bring your arms up. Who cares? Don't even think about, I'm in the grocery line, Toni, who cares? Move your belly button back to your spine and imagine you're gonna sit down right in that line until your turn comes. Now, if the arms up isn't available, no worries. You can bring them right on your thighs. But sit down. How you doing? Yep, I'm sitting. What are you doing? I'm taking care of my body. I'm honoring myself. How about you? That's that, right? You can add a little variation in the line. Sit a little lower. Gazing from each side. Again, listen to what your body's calling for. And then you can just stand back up. If it's appropriate, take a step forward. You're one step closer to being the first person in line, being cashiered out. And I'm saying this lightly and kind of funny, but it's the truth. Catch yourself the next time you're in a line and watch how your body responds. And then, speaking of how your body responds, there's your sitting balance in your chair. Here's your real balance where you can tap in and just see how frustrated are you about being in that line. Are you? Or you can take the time and really ground out. Think, I'm in this line. You can have your hands on your hips and really, I'm in this line. And let me balance that out. Maybe turn my knee out. And if it's available, again, if things are available, if that's not available, just bring your knee up. Allow yourself to do some ankle rotations, right? Right? And if it is available, then you take the foot into the inner thigh, only if it's available, right? There's another variation of your tree and start taking care of those hips opening up to the side. If the arms are available, you can bring them up. If the space is available, I mean. And you can bring those arms all the way up. But again, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. You can be here, right? You can even bring the knee in and just stay tall. Point and flex. So many variations here. And release that down. And the only thing that I would say is super important, because we are talking about balance, creating balance, and not only in our physical body, but in our mental space and our emotional space as well. So if you're only going to do one side, you're not balanced. You're really off balance, leaving that space. So make sure you give yourself enough breaths in between each that you can take equal amounts on both sides. So just moving to the opposite side, you would open that knee up. This is enough. Enough. Or you can bring it up. You'll find your balance. And maybe there's a flyer in front of you as you clockwise and counterclockwise that foot, that you're just looking at the flyer. Okay? And then again, if it's available, maybe one side's available and one side is not. It's telling you about what's going on. And that will change from minute to minute. If I go back into the other side, it will look a lot different than it looked just a moment ago when I did that. And again, remember opening up those hips. Oh, that feels lovely. And if the arms are available, they're available. If not, they're not. You're still creating space and balance and peace, not perfection. Space, balance, and peace. And then you release that down. And now it's your turn. And you're ready to cash out and move on. So again, I make light of this, but I make light of this because that's what I like those stressful situations to begin to turn into for you. When we talk about healing ourselves, one of the best ways to create a sense of health and wellness in the body is to be mindful of those mental and emotional triggers and have tools, accessible tools that we can pull out quickly and begin to work with those stressors instead of having them work against us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and you can share it too. I'm really trying to get these numbers up on this channel so I can bring you so much more in the space of health and wellness, nourishing your endocannabinoid system and every other system in your body. Until next time.